Francina is not available today due to work. So welcome to the April 15th meeting. I'll make a motion to approve the agenda and the approval of the minutes of February 17th meeting. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All right, any questions? All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, so the chair's report was distributed. It was here. Here it is. Yeah. So if there's any questions about it, I'll be happy to answer questions about it. Thankfully, things have been quiet, which is good. Ridership, of course, is still down. Make this bigger. All right, there it is. I can read it without my glasses. So a new timetables went into effect on Monday, actually, and services, a lot of some services being put back, especially for the places that people like to go in spring, summer, and fall. One of our colleagues on the New York City Transit Riders Council will be very, very happy that she has weekend service to Passaic now.
She's delighted.
I'm sure she is. There were all kinds of issues where they weren't running the service, and Metro North said, well, go ahead and park down in at the Southeast Station, which used to be called Brewster North. And so she was doing it, and then unbeknownst to her, they had changed the parking to limit it to where those people from Passaic and other stations could park. And she wound up getting a summons from the MTA's favorite, the parking contractor, Laz. So she brought it to our attention, and Lisa was able to get people in the Metro North to look into it, and they canceled her ticket, and they instructed her where she could park in their limited parking areas. I think we're still waiting for one more place that they're still working on the Hudson line that is a place that people like to go hiking and biking and stuff like that. There's some controversy about the Williamsbridge station in the Bronx that they closed this northbound platform suddenly. It's been since February. It's been closed, actually.
Aye.
And
You did a front page article in the Journal News on it.
yeah, I guess one of these days I should just take a train. It's tough to get there by train from where I am. I think I might just drive there and take a look and see what's going on. But then I'll put this off for.
We could go up if you like as well. I mean,
Well, if it was on my line, I could just drive there. I mean, to take the train, but it bounced back from 138th Street. I mean, from 125th Street up there, and you can't even get to the place. So it really, logistically, it's just better for me to just drive there, which I will do. I don't have anything else in the report. If anybody has any questions about it.
I just wanted to add something on the Williamsbridge article. From what we understand, there was a letter that went to the railroad, and that from Acre and from two elected officials regarding, and that may have actually been included in the article, regarding capacity and asking for additional service because of crowding on the train, and looking at Williamsbridge as an example of tying it in somehow.
I'm sorry, I was watching, I got a text from at 12:05, Francis wrote, yes, joining in a second, got held up. I hope he got delayed, not held up.
Oh, yeah.
I have to ask him about that.
Right.
I'm sorry, can you just repeat what you said, because I missed it?
Sure. There was, from what we understand, and I haven't seen the letter, there was a letter that went to the MTA, maybe to Metro North, from two elected officials and possibly from Acre as well, related to the Williamsbridge story.
Yeah.
Asking for additional service, citing capacity concerns and crowding, and tying it into the Williamsbridge that Williamsbridge story, and I'm not quite sure what the tie-in was, but I'm not sure. Maybe if anybody's seen the letter, it would be good to know, since as from everything we know, the capacity hasn't remained an issue except for once or twice.
Okay. All right. We have a board briefing this afternoon at 2:00. And so I just got a little while ago, I got an agenda. They're going to talk about, be an update on COVID-19, a finance update, CBDT, I guess congestion business tolling update.
Business district tolling, yep.
And then there's an April action item overview on migration of the mail-in ride program. I guess this, I can't imagine what they're going to migrate it to. I mean, they're not ready to do the Omni for commuter rail yet, as far as I know. So that'll be interesting. So we'll see what happens there. The meeting is going to be next Wednesday, is the board meeting. Old business, anything new on our appointment?
Randy, did you want to talk about the Nanuet shelter? And
Oh, all right. Well, I would have brought that up on the new business, but I can do it.
okay, I'm sorry. Never mind.
All right, so going back to June of 2018, when Metro North we had 2 express trains on the Pascack Valley line. And they eliminated one of them in the morning, the second one, and the second one in the evening, due to installation of PTC, which we all knew was a lot of nonsense, because they weren't anywhere near ready to do it. But it was the excuse that they gave because they had a shortage of engineers, something that the Murphy administration had inherited from Governor Christie's administration, where he had no interest in New Jersey transit and public transportation, and did pretty much anything he could to screw them. Pardon my French. So anyway, they started to build back and added people. So it's really, luckily, we've been very fortunate. They haven't had too many trains canceled. Well, they still happen occasionally for engineer shortage. So county, of course, was not happy about this, so they called for a meeting, and everybody, all the senior people from Metro North came. We had the people from the Rockland County Transportation Department of Public Transportation were there, and myself and who was our quarter pounder at the time. I'm forgetting. I said his name just the other day. Warren, who was the predecessor of our quarter pounder there?
Oh,
How soon we forget. Anyway, he was there too. Huh?
he was in the construction business.
Yeah. Well, anyway, if it comes to me, I'll tell you. I could look it up, but I'm not going to take the time to do it.
Oh, what night?
Wharton. Yeah, all Wharton died. So anyway, he was there, and it took true to his. Are we being recorded? Are we being recorded?
Yes.
Okay. That won't say anything. Okay. Anyway, I just didn't see the thing on there. Anyway, he was there too. So anyway, the arrangement that was made that they would credit the county for that money they didn't spend for the canceled train, and we would get a new shelter at the Nanuet station. So nothing happened. Anyway, finally, last week I got an announcement, or earlier in the week, that they were going to do something. And so I sent an email this morning to several people at Metro North, and I posed some questions, and I had asked them, will a temporary shelter be provided? And the answer is yes. Will there be provision for a timetable rack? So Orrin had provided years ago, one of these plastic things you like see in restaurants where they have those flyers in there. Orrin got one of those, that he had it there. And for a long time, he or I would refill that timetable rack. And then one day someone stole it. Yeah, gone. No. So anyway, the Metro North manager who was in charge of West of Hudson service, Fred Chittister, had one made for us in the.
It was a nice one.
Huh?
It was a nice one.
Yes, it was a very nice wooden one. I took picture of it, and so he installed it there, and now that's where Orin and I. Actually, somebody went. I refilled the timetable rack on Monday when I came back from New York. When I went by there yesterday to take some final pictures of the station shelter, someone else had been there to put some in. Do you know anything about it, Orin?
No, I don't, but
And
I will be passing through there today.
No, so it was no reason to. Someone added more. I only put one column. There's room for 3 types of timetables. There's only one there, and that's where. But now it's completely filled. Anyway, he says there's going to be a new. There will be a provision for it. Where will the 2 ticket vending machines be placed? The answer is the temporary location will be outside the temporary shelter. A canopy will be installed over the TVMs to protect customers. The TVMs will move back inside once the new shelter is upon completion. All right. Hey, Francis. How are you? You're unmuted.
And in
Sorry
San
about that.
Francisco.
Okay.
I got hung up on
Thanks
something.
for
Hey,
All right. So what I'm doing is I'm giving an update that the Natty Wet shelter is going to be replaced starting next week. It was something that was promised to Rockland County in 2018, June of 2018. So I had took some pictures yesterday, and I sent an email this morning to several Metro North managers to find out what was going on. And I'm just reading the email now and giving the answers to the question. So just quickly, I asked, will there be a temporary shelter? There will be. There'll be a timetable rack. The TVMs, the ticket vending machines, are going to be covered by a canopy, but they'll go back inside when the shelter is completed. And then the last question I asked was, upon completion of work, is New Jersey Transit planning to replace the existing TVMs with newer models? The newer models have a lot less touch things on them, which and I've seen them around. I took a picture of one through the train window on Monday when I came back to a different station. And New Jersey Transit indicated to Capital they're going to begin a program to change them, but it's unknown what will result in the machine being installed in time in the new shelter. Follow-up needed prior to installing TVM. So looks like everybody is going to be okay. Now, interestingly, in the fall when I went by to check the heat, they have these buttons in the shelters at all of the Metro North stations where the heat is off in the October to April time period. And when people are in the shelter, they push this button, there's a loud boom, and the heat comes on. So I tried this out in Natty Wet, and it didn't work. And then I was at Tarrytown, and it didn't work. So I said, what's going on? It was a decision made by the state that they can't have heat on in the shelters. And then on top of that, they removed the doors to the shelter. So I wasn't here in the wintertime when it was cold, but it was no place except to stay in your car and run to the train from the car. Anyway, this is all hopefully will be taken care of. So that's the end of the Natty Wet.
I'm sorry,
So-
Randy, do you know when they when that happened?
What happened?
When they removed the heat and because they.
Oh, they didn't turn it.
Yeah.
They didn't remove it. They just didn't turn it on. And
Oh.
but I was there in late fall
Yeah.
before I went to Florida. I went over there. I go weekly to fill up the timetable rack,
Right.
and I noticed that and got a response that this was a directive from the state of New York. So they followed up on it. Have you heard anything about our proposed additional members?
I have not heard anything about our proposed additional members. I was hoping maybe Walter had an update. I can tell you that I had a conversation this morning with Amy Paulin regarding proposed legislation that relating to bicycle pedestrian, a bicycle pedestrian committee to the MTA that has been proposed that would be structured similar to ours, that we're working with the Assembly and Senate on a number of configurations on. But she asked me specifically what was happening with the Westchester appointments. And I was able to tell her not much. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
She's great, and she can get some stuff done if you ask her. Amy is really great.
Yep.
She's really, really great.
yep. So I was glad that she had asked that. And I lamented that it takes 2 years. I've been here for 2.5 years. I haven't seen a new appointee.
Yeah. One of the people from Westchester County who's been proposed is Walter Zulik. He has participated in some of our meetings and even some PCAC. He's a retired Metro North. He was general counsel for Metro North. He has a wealth of knowledge that everyone pales him. He knows the railroads. I mean, he would be a real asset to. Yeah, but he did receive his by email this package of forms to fill out, which he did, and he got them, completed them and had them notarized. Even though he's a lawyer, you can't notarize. Of course, we can't notarize their own stuff. He did submit it, and he hasn't heard anything back yet.
Well,
How long's it been?
takes a while.
Oh, it's been over a month.
Okay, well, that's not that long actually in the appointments office years.
Yeah.
Timeline.
Right. It's basically measured it in dog's ears.
Yeah, I mean, they do a good job of checking, and cross-referencing and all that stuff. It takes a little while, but he would be a great addition.
Yeah.
You really would.
All right. So otherwise, I don't have any other things to talk about. Lisa, I missed.
The White Plains.
Oh yes, of course. I got an invitation for next Friday at 1:00 to be at the White Plains station. There's going to be an announcement to celebrate the completion of the rehab of the station.
Wow, it's
Are you
beautiful.
Are you going to be around that time?
Yeah, I could be there.
Okay. I'll send. At least unless you want to send it to Mark that Francis will be there.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Mark.
You are a Westchester person. Why not? Okay, so we'll be there. I haven't been asked to say anything, which is fine. I'll be in the background.
I mean, it's very nice to have been invited. When
there
have been a number of different events through several of the other operating agencies where we are invited, and then several where they say, "Oh no, we can't invite people because it's too crowded." It's a subway station. How can it be too crowded? But it's not our event.
Yeah. Well, just say it happened when they announced the PTC. It was in the Long Island City in the yard.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let people come.
Right.
But no, things are opening up now. More people are vaccinated, and so hopefully we can resume somewhat normal activities.
Right. Speaking of
I
which,
got my shots.
excellent. There's a mask force next Thursday.
Oh yes, in White
April
Plains. I
22nd.
won't be here.
Yep.
Francis, if you're interested, you sent it to Francis, right?
I sent it to everybody. I believe I sent it to everybody. Francis, did I send it to you as well? I think so. On
7 a.m. in White Plains, which I would go to, but I'm coming home that day.
Right. It's a lot of fun. People are very appreciative of it. Long Island is pulling some of those together as well. And it's also happening in New York City as it has been for the last 8 months, I guess, that they've been doing it here. So we will continue to support them however we can.
Yeah. Next, there was I think we lost Francis.
He's just re-entering.
All right, Francis, it's next Thursday morning at 7 a.m.
Hold on. There he is. Okay. Connecting to audio. Okay, sorry.
Sorry, it was a doctor calling back, and I didn't want to miss him, and I thought it would stay on hold for a second. It dropped you. I apologize.
That's fine. No, you're back. That's the important thing. All right. Next Thursday morning at 7 a.m. Lisa sent you an email about the mask force if you're interested in participating. I know it's early.
I saw that. I read that. A little early for the mask force, but okay.
Right. They're also doing it at Grand Central a little later in the day, make it a little more palatable.
You do it that early, you definitely need a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be away that day, but I'm looking forward to doing it the next time. All right, so let's go around. Do we have anybody has anything else? Rich, you were the first one on, so do you have anything you want to add?
Not really, not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Oren?
Not really now, but I will check, to see how things going at Nanuet today.
Well, there's nothing happening yet. It's not starting until next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and usually the first day is nothing usually happens anyway, but if you have time to go by next week, I would do that. I'll go there next Friday because I'll be away from
Yeah, I
starting.
can stop by also, Randy.
Sorry?
I can stop by also.
All right. Francis, anything you want to add?
Is there any feedback on that pilot program that we had gotten the presentation on for the, for the COVID? Remember that PowerPoint we got from the company that was going to engage in a pilot program across the,
The air filtration.
yeah, across the MTA?
We'll
Have we
follow
heard
up.
anything on that?
We'll follow up, Peter. I don't know if you've been following that at all. Peter Ramos is here, who's with Metro North, but we'll follow up with that.
Yeah, I was just curious because it was pretty exciting and interesting, and so I'm sure they fast tracking it as much as possible. So I thought maybe they might have a little feedback already on how it was going.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, great question. Great question. And we'll follow up on that. Thank you.
All right. So before we go, our next meeting is scheduled for May 20th.
Yes.
Oh, it's a Wednesday. Okay. All right, May 20th. So if there-
Wow.
May I give an update on, I just wanted to let you know, our WageWorks, we've been, as you may know, we've been
Sure.
working with, we talked about it before on WageWorks, transit check, pre-tax benefit, pre-tax transit benefit dollars, and people who've had their money locked up in those dollars, sometimes in the thousands. Francina was actually interviewed for the New York Times
Yep.
article that came out about a month ago. So we've written a letter to the IRS and the Treasury Department that's going out today. And in fact, there was an article, the Treasury Department has launched an Office of COVID Response to help people get through with any of their recovery related questions. So we're going to add them to that. And there are 15 groups who've signed on to the letter asking, we're the lead on it, and we're asking for, an amnesty or just anything that will allow people some kind of relief to be able to get their money out, to use it for food or rent or whatever they need it for, even though it's just a one-time shot. So we shall see. We've gotten the sign on also from our friends in New Jersey and Connecticut, from
That's good.
Rail Passengers and Commuter Council, and we'll be sending it to the New York State Senators, Connecticut State Senator, not state, the US Senators in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, and working through some channels that we have to see if Senator Schumer would like to do a Sunday press conference with us.
He loves those.
He certainly does.
Oh,
I will dedicate a
And it's
Sunday
a good
to
thing,
him.
and it's actually a really good thing. So I mean, to get some sort of temporary change to how the money can be used, and that's actually a good thing for people and for families. So I mean, a lot of these people are young people too who have lost their jobs and had put the money in there and they need it.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a correction. I've discovered that this transit subway calendar I have, the month is correct, but the previous month they somehow screwed up when they made it because they put the calendar for next month is not correct. And I made the mistake of looking at it. So we wouldn't have done a Wednesday meeting because we meet Thursday. So I looked at the real calendar. Of course, it's Thursday. Thursday, May 20th. Yeah.
How do you like that?
Yeah, it's the same calendar that for years was putting down daylight savings time. It's not. It's daylight saving time. There's no S on it. All right. If there's nothing else, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it, Chairman.
Okay. And I thank you all for your participation, and we're adjourned. And I'll see you next Thursday, Friday rather, at the White Plains. And take care, everybody.
All right. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey,
Be well.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.